So there's plenty of you that struggle with putting on weight because you simply don't stick with it long enough, or you just don't know what to do, you don't know what machines to do in the gym, you don't know what exercises you need to do first, and you just don't know how to put together a program. Well, I'm here to tell you and show you that it's easier to put on muscle than you think if you just know what you have to do. So we're gonna start from the outside in, okay? What I mean by that is, first thing is, you have to know what plan you're going to be doing in the gym. You can't just go in there and do random exercises. You gotta have a program, whether you have a trainer, whether you find it online. You gotta stick to something that you know is gonna work for you and your schedule. Whether it's 3 times a week, 4 times a week, 5 times a week. Do something that you know you're gonna be able to commit to and that you're gonna be able to handle based on your level of fitness. Secondly, when you go into the gym and you work out, you need to know how to do the exercises correctly, okay? And here's an example. When you're doing an exercise, per se squats, you wanna make sure your feet are spread far apart, they're lining up with your shoulders, you're going all the way down and all the way up, and you're making sure your range of motion is good and your back is flat and your chest is slightly forward. And you're gonna repeat this for every single repetition, okay? If you're doing bicep curls, you wanna stand up straight, chest out, arms at the side. You're gonna bring it all the way up until your forearm roughly hits your bicep, and then you're gonna bring it all the way back down and get the full extension. You want the full range of motion and you want to keep engaging that. You need to make sure you're obviously doing the exercise properly, because if you're not doing it properly, then you're going to miss out on actually activating the muscle correctly. The next thing is you want to make sure you're challenging your muscle properly. And what I mean by that is, here's an example. You can do a technique like this, where when you're performing the exercise, you're doing a static hold in order to put more tension on the muscle that you're working on, and then proceed to do more repetitions and proceed to finish the exercise. Here's another example that you can do where you slow down the actual exercise, which also puts more tension on the muscle. It causes it to work harder. Doing this repeatedly over time with, of course, good form, making sure that your stance is correct and that you're performing the exercises properly, is going to allow you to build more tissue, going to allow you to build more muscle over time. And you can do this for any body part with any exercise. You just need to do it to what your strengths are. You can start doing this with only 3 reps or 4 reps or even 5. You can hold the static rep for longer than, let's say, 3 seconds or 4 seconds. Whatever the case is, you can manage it and you can play around with it. You're the creator of your own workout. You can make it happen yourself. Now you're probably saying, well, this is actually harder than what I was doing. Of course it is, because you're putting more tension on the muscle. But when you put more tension on the muscle, yes, it will still take time to build a physique and put on muscle. However, if you compare it to doing your regular workout versus adding this into your workout, and then over time progressively adding in more static reps, more repetitions, more slow tempo workouts, over time, you're going to yield better results had you not added them in. So I would highly suggest you start adding these in your workouts and start making it a regular routine when performing your exercises to make it more challenging for yourself. And then the last, of course, is your nutrition. If you're not getting at least around your body weight worth in grams of protein, you could potentially be self-sabotaging your muscle growth, right? We don't know exactly where it lands on, but we know it's around 0.5 to 2 grams or so per pound. So if you're getting that, then you should be fine. If you don't get it every single day, no, it's not the end of the world, of course. You can still put on muscle because your body has reserves. It uses fats and also carbs as a sparring effect if you happen to not get enough protein. And more often than not, if you're getting enough protein, then you don't have to worry about that anyways. But like I said, you need to make sure that your nutrition is structured. You want to make sure that you're feeding your muscles the correct macros in order to ensure that when you do get muscle growth slowly over time of you going into the gym, picking up a weight, performing the exercise, causing tearing through the tension of the muscle in the exercise, that it's going to have the right amount of caloric intake and nutrients in order to sustain the growth, to allow it to grow, and also to help it recover as well. And lastly, you want to be a little bit in a surplus. And I'm not talking about dirty bulking here, because that's just, you don't need to do that. You don't need to eat a high amount of calories in order to ensure that you're gonna get bigger, because all you're gonna do is just get fatter. You wanna find out how many calories you generally need to intake, and you wanna increase it by around 200 to 500 calories max a day. Even 500 calories generally is too much for some people, but that's gonna depend on how fast people burn their calories, what their basic metabolic rate is, how much they move during the day, how much they exercise. There's enough of varying factors when it comes to that, but a safe range is around 200 to 500 calories or so. And then you just want to increase that and add it into your caloric intake every single day. And as you do that, you might put on a little bit of body fat. Everybody always wants to stay as thin or as lean as a stick when it comes to wanting to put on muscle or get a bit bigger. You cannot avoid that. You're eventually going to put on a bit of muscle tissue. If your genetics are great, you'll get the lower end of the stick when it comes to putting on body fat. If not, you'll put on a little bit more, but it is what it is. You can't get away from that. But the good thing is, you know you're gonna be supplementing your body with the right amount of nutrients and macros in order to sustain the muscle growth you will be putting on if you continue to go to the gym and work out and do the things I said in this video on a regular basis. And therefore, 4 to 6 months, 7 months or so, roughly down the road, you will start to lean back out again because of the nutrients that are going to be used in order to feed your muscles instead of just being put as fat on your body. Because what happens is, as you slowly start to put on muscle, like I explained, your body will start to take more of the caloric intake that you're eating and use it to sustain and grow and recover the muscle. And that is a repeating process that you want to keep doing for yourself. So every 4 to 6 months or so, you increase the calories very slowly again. And that is how you sustain muscle and how you keep perpetuating the cycle of muscle growth. All right, guys, that's the end of the video. Click like, subscribe, comment, share. Let me know what you thought, and also in the comments down below if you've had any issues when it comes to putting on muscle. Again, there's a link down there if you want to join my membership area. That's for free right now. It has a host of videos on there that teach you how to work out, educational videos, stretching and foam rolling. It's a user base for people such as yourselves that want to go and get to a one-stop shop to get all the answers they need. And I will see you guys around.